If the place has beds, Tae and Jungkook already know where they'll end up, next to each other. Every time there are beds in a space, the pattern repeats itself effortlessly. Taehyung and Jungkook end up lying together. This behavior isn't something that has happened just once, not twice, not 3 times. The way they share the bed, as if it were part of their daily routine, speaks for itself. The comfort with which they settle next to each other leaves no room for doubt. Seeing Jungkook lying next to Taehyung, with that calm expression, makes it clear that there's no other place he'd rather be. The closeness they share while resting reinforces a silent dynamic that has been witnessed countless times. It's not a spontaneous moment, but a constant choice. No matter the place or the occasion, if there are 2 beds, they end up together in one. That action shows a clear preference. Sharing a bed has become a visible part of their lives, an action that demonstrates a normalized intimacy between the two. It's not that they're trying to show something, it's that they're not hiding it. When the cameras are close, there's no distance between them. When the cameras leave, the habit remains the same. This consistency makes each shared moment another record of how strong their bond is. Taehyung and Jungkook not only choose to be together at the end of the day, they also maintain a series of constant physical behaviors that reaffirm their bond. Every kiss thrown in spontaneous moments, every caress of the neck, every prolonged eye contact speaks louder than any sentence. These gestures aren't exclusive to a single event, but appear repeatedly in different contexts, in different years, in front of different people. Taehyung and Jungkook's love escapes in details invisible to many, but never to Taehyung fans. Taehyung and Jungkook shared a moment that seemed invisible to everyone, except Taehyung fans. For a moment on stage, they sent each other signals that weren't spoken, but were intensely felt. It all began with an almost imperceptible gesture. Taehyung blew a secret kiss, directed at one person, Jungkook. That small gesture provoked an immediate response. Jungkook began to gently bite his lips, in an expression that couldn't be mistaken. It wasn't a casual reaction or a simple physical movement, it was a direct response to Taehyung's gesture. Meanwhile, his leg moved quickly, as if something inside him couldn't stay still. That movement was nervous, but also happy. It was the physical language of someone who has just received something important, something intimate. Jungkook's reaction was not forgotten. Taehyung watched him the whole time, attentive to what he felt. His eyes were filled with a gaze so direct and profound that it left no doubt, he was in love. That way of looking isn't common, it's not casual. It's the way a person observes the only person they care about in that crowded place. Taekookers know how to identify these moments because they aren't ordinary gestures. It's not the way someone acts in front of a crowd, but the way they act in front of the one they love. Each gesture between them seems small, but together they form a complete language. It's a language without words, but with profound meaning. And even if others don't see it, for Taekookers everything is clear. Taehyung and Jungkook say I love you to each other in every silence, in every glance, in every hidden movement in the public eye. Jungkook can take many hugs, but only one gives him peace, Taehyung's. In situations with many people, different reactions, and shared emotions, Jungkook always knows exactly where he wants to go. It doesn't matter how many hugs he receives or how many hands are extended to congratulate him. When he accomplishes something he's proud of, like jumping rope multiple times, his first impulse is to look for Taehyung. It's a habit, a clear sign of who represents something important in his life. During a group celebration, all the boys get ready to hug Jungkook. He smiles, but his body moves in another direction. He moves away from the others calmly, but decisively. He looks at Taehyung and throws himself into that hug as if he's known him forever. He doesn't need explanations, he just needs those arms. Taehyung's gesture also has meaning. He simply opens his arms naturally, as if he already knows Jungkook will come to find him. They are connected by something that requires no visible signs. In that instant, one's body recognizes the other's. The connection is direct, automatic. Every time a moment like this happens, Taekookers notice it. Because they know that these kinds of hugs aren't just handed out in a general way. They're specific, meaningful, and directed. Jungkook isn't looking for a social gesture. He's looking for contact with the only person who knows how to make him feel safe. None of these gestures are isolated. They're revealing what already exists between them. Intimacy doesn't need exposure when it's real, and that's what's evident in every action. Taehyung fans recognize these signs, not because they imagine them, but because they are consistent, public, and emotionally clear. There's no effort to pretend. There's just a constant and evident connection. Caressing each other's neck is one of the most intimate signs they've shown. This type of contact doesn't happen without trust or emotional closeness. When you watch Taehyung touch Jungkook's neck, or vice versa, you can see how naturally they do it. There's no tension or hesitation in the movement. There's delicacy and care. This kind of gesture is common in people who share something deeper than a simple visible relationship. Their blowing kisses isn't a decorative act. Nor is it simply an interaction for entertainment. It's something seen repeatedly in different situations, regardless of whether they're alone or in public. The intention behind these gestures reveals a connection. They don't need to be in bed together to express affection. They do it on stage, in rehearsals, in meetings. They're in sync even in noisy or chaotic environments. It's also important to note how they react when they're around each other. Their body language changes. Their gestures relax. Jungkook tends to lean closer to Taehyung naturally, while Taehyung watches him with a different expression, as if he can read what Jungkook is thinking without needing to speak. That constant visual interaction is one of the strongest parts of their bond. Even though they're surrounded by cameras and know that every gesture can be analyzed, Taehyung and Jungkook have the ability to express their love with a precision that requires no words. This kind of emotional control isn't something you see every day. They've both learned to keep what they feel beneath the surface, but they always leave small signs for those who know how to look. When Taehyung decides to send Jungkook that sneaky kiss, he doesn't do it for everyone to see. He does it so subtly that it almost goes unnoticed. However, Jungkook senses it immediately. He doesn't just see it, he feels it. His body reacts before his mind. He bites his lips, moves his leg quickly, as if he can't control what he's just received. It's an emotional reaction that goes through the physical. That kiss isn't just a gesture. It's a declaration. It's a way of saying I'm here with you without needing to speak. And Jungkook responds with gestures that aren't casual either. He knows what's going on. He doesn't act surprised. He acts like someone who's been through this before, who knows the codes, who understands the message he's just received. While this is happening, Taehyung watches him. He doesn't look away. The way he looks confirms that everything he did was intentional. He's not improvising. There's a confidence in his expression that indicates this isn't the first time they've communicated this way. And although they do it discreetly, they don't hide it from each other. They just hide it from the rest of the world. This level of communication requires trust. They trust each other so much that they don't need to speak to understand each other. Jungkook's movements, the intensity of Taehyung's gaze, and the way they react when they're close are all part of a system that isn't built overnight. It's something that has grown with them. Furthermore, the control they both exert doesn't mean coldness. On the contrary, it's a way of protecting what they feel. It's a way of keeping their love away from those who don't understand. And yet, Taekookers do understand it, because they've learned to see the patterns. Every gesture, every movement, every glance connects with other moments they've experienced before. When a public celebration is taking place and everyone is preoccupied with what's happening around them, Taehyung and Jungkook manage to stay focused on what really matters, each other. Jungkook has just accomplished a physical challenge, jumping multiple times without failing, and the excitement is visible. There are claps, shouts, and gestures of joy. But he doesn't get carried away by all that noise. He focuses on his priority. In that moment, he makes a quick decision. He goes straight to Taehyung without looking around. The action is simple, but it speaks volumes. He doesn't need to look for anyone else, because he knows exactly who he wants to share his joy with. That kind of connection doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's something that has formed over time. When Jungkook hugs him, it's not out of reflex. He does it because he knows that body, because he knows that's where he can let out everything he feels. It's a safe place, but not physical. It's emotional. He's used to Taehyung understanding him without speaking, without explaining what's happening to him. And Taehyung reacts the same. He doesn't push him away or act confused. He just wraps his arms around him as if the hug was already planned. This level of understanding is difficult to achieve with just one person. It means there's a channel between them that never closes. This moment also demonstrates how the two use their bodies to speak. Jungkook launches himself confidently, without hesitation. He doesn't wait to be invited. He doesn't ask if he can. He knows Taehyung is there for him. Taehyung, for his part, opens his arms as if he's a familiar response. He doesn't improvise. He just does what he's always done, being available for Jungkook. In a crowded space, they behave as if no one else is there. They're not interested in being seen or understood. They only care about maintaining that habit they have, seeking each other out when there's something to celebrate or share. That kind of dynamic also speaks volumes about how they care for each other. Taehyung doesn't need to ask what's going on. He just acts. And Jungkook doesn't need to explain why he's going straight to him. He knows he'll be welcomed. This routine between them is unbroken. It repeats itself, it confirms itself, and it becomes stronger every time it happens.